Hello everybody, how you doing today? Hope you're having a good day. Not much we can do about the weather, so I just hope you can do the best. And this is you an opportunity to do something for Him. So think about posting some Bible scriptures or posting this message, sharing this message with others. All right, the title of the lesson is Knowing When to Flee or Fight. And I like to say this is what we call wisdom put to good use. See, some people do not know just when each is appropriate, and some humans have more common sense than others, to be sure. And I'm sure we all have seen the photo of the pit bull that decided to fight the porcupine. Didn't work out too good for the pit bull. And sometimes it is more noble to just walk away from a fight. But alas, people and pets do not learn their lesson. Sometimes to stand your ground and battle it out with a skunk is pure stupidity. And when faced with a skunk, it is no time to argue about your civil rights. It is time to run away. I mean, that ought to be common sense for some people, but I know my dog never learned that lesson. He's been skunked about 2 or 3 times. But most people learn their lesson. All right. People ignore danger and obvious bad situations just so they do not lose face. And when they have received the full brunt of the danger, they wonder why it happened to them. Many people are in this boat. No matter how much we warn them of the dangers of hell, they choose to stay their course and keep themselves engaged in sinful activities. See, in the Bible, there are several passages that tell us to flee things that can harm our souls. Like in 2 Timothy 2:22, where it says, flee youthful lust. And we're supposed to flee fornication, 1 Corinthians 6:18. We're supposed to flee idolatry, 1 Corinthians 10:14. And we're to flee from the wrath to come, Matthew 3:7. That's the only one that really makes sense. And then we're supposed to flee from every appearance of evil, 1 Thessalonians 5:21. And so these things can destroy our soul, and we need to keep our distance. And Paul told us that God will protect us by providing the way of escape. 1 Corinthians 10:13, we have that assurance. And we just need to follow the example of Joseph. When the temptation was near, he fled. He fled without his clothes on, but he wasn't going to get involved in fornication. So we all must train and discipline ourselves to get out of the danger however we can with haste and dispatch. I mean, temptations are there. We've got to come up and say no and then depart and do those things. That's hard to do sometimes. And yes, we all make mistakes. We all give in to the temptation, and then we feel bad about it. Well, that's good that you feel bad about it, because then you'll be willing to confess your sin, knowing that God will cleanse your sins. There are times, though, when we are supposed to fight the good fight. Yes, it is easier to flee a fight and not get involved in spiritual discussion or doctrinal discourses. A lot of people basically don't have the confidence that they know enough Bible to engage in a spiritual discussion, so they just ignore it. I mean, they need to start studying the Bible more so they can. And so the encouraging words to Timothy told him to hold the pattern of sound words. And the message we get from the apostle is that we must not give in when error is taught. We cannot be silent when a doctrine is taught where the end result is souls being lost. And every Christian is duty bound to uphold the truth and rebuke the gainsayers, and we have the responsibility to expose error and those who teach the error. And yeah, we also have to realize that if we do, they're going to make accusations against us as being some sort of troublemaker or watchdog. Well, so be it. If they were not teaching error, there would be no need for us to expose them. As Christians, we are to fight for souls. I mean, our fight is not against carnal weapons, 2 Corinthians 10:4. But it is a spiritual fight that we engage in. And we must be soldiers of the cross. I mean, we must serve Jesus. And we do not have to worry about outfitting an army because God has done that for us. He's given us what we need. And He gives us the proper armor, the tools, and weapons to have the confidence to be engaged in this fight. You know, Ephesians 6:10 through 18 talks about putting on the armor of God to withstand all that the devil can throw our way. And so we know this is a spiritual confrontation. And our enemy has been bombarding us relentlessly since the day we abandoned him and decided to follow Jesus. So yes, he's always attacking us. Satan's not really bombarding those of the world because he already has them. And all the things in this world, he has them already. The only people Satan is concentrating upon are the faithful. And so, he doesn't have to work on that. Now, God, on the other hand, is trying to get most of the world back onto his side, and they just refuse to do so. Just imagine the good we could do if we employed the same degree of intensity to trying to save souls as Satan uses trying to get us back. Just think about that for a minute. How effective would we be if we put as much effort into the salvation of souls that Satan uses? See, Christian, do your part. If we flee from sin, God's going to help us develop into what a good Christian should be. And we should not get upset when we are faced with temptation and we face these various trials. You know, James says, consider it joy. Because what happens is if you're able to withstand the temptation, then that makes you stronger and makes you valuable to God. And so that's what we encourage everyone to do. So think about these things. Like I say, share this message with others, and it'll be good. Yeah, you'll be good. You might be helping somebody. You might get somebody turned onto the right course of action. And just think about when you stand before God, did you try and help anybody get to heaven? Will be a question. And yeah, I tried so-and-so and I tried so-and-so. We may not know the names of everybody we help, but we can help somebody. And so do your part. Do something for God today. Share this message because we all need to hear it. And we all need to know the difference between when to flee and when to fight. And that's just wisdom in action. So consider those things. Lord willing, be back again tomorrow with another lesson. Bye-bye for now.